Hey, I'm Allison, and this is Realistically Consistent, where we talk about how to build sustainable fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits that actually last even as a busy mom. I'm here to help get you consistent, not perfect, and on your way to feeling like your best self. I'm so excited to start today's episode with you. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Realistically Consistent. It has been a while since I've been on here recording, and I'm really excited to just pop back in really quick. This is just a surprise little summer pop-up episode because it is now August. I don't know where the summer went, but we only have about 2 weeks left until school starts. And so, of course, what's on my mind, and I know a lot of other moms' minds are, how can we go into this school year feeling like we are set up for success? And if you're like me again, this is not just for the kids, because of course, yes, that's 100% on our minds, but how are we going to fit into this mix too? Because every single year it's the same. I feel like the school year starts and we are rushing around doing all of the things for our kids you name it. I don't need to name it for you, but between just like the back to school shopping and then going back shopping because we almost always forget something, and the new clothes and the new shoes and paying the tuitions or the school fees and the back to school parties and the playground meetup groups. Again, I don't have to tell you, you know. Not to mention if you're in sports too. Oh man, it's a lot, right? And it's so easy to lose yourself in that because you just had the whole summer with things were a little bit more lax. We were having a little bit more fun. You were naturally moving more, right? All of those things that are awesome. So how do we keep that going so that you don't start getting lost in the back to school shuffle? Feel yourself getting your patience tested, getting more frustrated more easily, feeling that mom rage popping up more easily. How do we stay peaceful and calm and present and keep our joy and have fun through it all? Because what is the point of life in general, of having these beautiful kids that we love spending time with and enjoying our lives with, if we're spending so much of it not present, constantly thinking about our to-do list, constantly feeling frustrated, constantly rushing out the house? My goal for moms in this podcast and a special announcement that I have coming here is my whole mission that I'm feeling called and pulled towards creating something that will allow this to be more realistic for moms is to just help moms arrive in this place where you're taking care of yourself on a level that allows you to parent with more presence and more joy so that you can enjoy it and soak in all of the moments through even the most chaotic and hectic of moments and really enjoy it and not feel it like you're going to bed each night feeling like you did all of the things, but then somehow it still feels like you're failing. Because I've been there. And now seeing this other side and knowing how simple it truly is to be on this other side, I want this for all moms. And so I just want to talk about this for a quick second, and then we're going to dive into all the August routines. But I'm creating an app called The Joy Filled Mom. I have created an app called The Joy Filled Mom. And it is where I'm taking all of my knowledge and experience over the past 7+ years, personal training, nutrition, mindset, routines, habits, everything, and creating a place where a mom can come and feel seen and know exactly where she needs to start that is not going to feel overwhelming, what her specific non-negotiables are that are going to get her feeling like she actually has energy without relying on caffeine and feeling like she can be a more present, joy-filled version of herself because she knows the basic habits, how to stay consistent with them, and feels supported through all of that, through trainings, micro trainings, little bite-sized pieces that are going to change your perspective on how you see taking care of yourself. So we can get rid of the overwhelm. We can get rid of the guilt. We are going to have prompts, questions to ask yourself that are going to spark that, oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way. Here's what I need to do. It's going to get you taking action consistently and taking care of your health now. So we're not waiting for life to slow down. We're not waiting, oh, you know what? I just need to get through this first week of school and then I'll take care of myself. How many times have we said that? And then the next week is just as crazy. And then before we know it, it's October and we're getting ready for Halloween and the holidays. And oh my gosh, it just never stops. We have to take care of ourselves no matter what season we're in because our kids feel that. They feel when we're stressed. Even if we're putting on a happy face and we're trying to have fun, if we're deep down, if we're stressed and anxious and battling mental struggles that we don't want them to see, they do feel that. My kids have become so much more calm ever since I became so much more calm and joy filled, present. And so I would love for you to come check this out. If you were seeing this before August 9th, the doors are opening on Wednesday, and I'm going to link that down in the show notes. If you'd like to check it out and join, you can come check it out for $1. And I'm looking for 30 founding members. And these founding members are going to really lead the way and lead the charge of this new movement that I am so passionate about and proud of. And you're also going to get in at an all-time low price and lock it in for the life of your membership of this app. And you can get in just for $17.77 a month. I mean, ridiculously low for everything you're getting: workouts, nutrition trainings, mindset shifts, live hot seat coaching. If you're a founding member, it's going to be as much personalized coaching as you can possibly get to apply this to your life and make sure that you are moving the needle in the way that makes sense for you without feeling overwhelmed. So I'd love for you to be one of those founding members. All you need to do is click the link that's down in the show notes and get in before Sunday when we're doing our first live call together. And then doors are going to close until the next time that they open, which might not be for another month or two. So I'd love to see you in there. All right, with that, let's dive in to how we can not just survive, but thrive as school starts back up this August. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to reflect back on last year. And whether it's the very beginning of the school year, which was a while ago, so I don't blame you if that's already like way in the back of your brain. But at the very least, think back to May, because May is another insanely busy month. Again, lots going on, just it looks a little bit different, right? Think back to your mornings, okay? Think back to how they felt trying to get the kids out the door in the morning. Again, it's a different energy. At least at the beginning of the year, they're kind of excited to go back. At the end of the year, we're like, oh my gosh, are we done yet? So I understand that it is a different energy, but I do just want you to think in general terms. How did your morning go for you? What were some of the things that really went very well? Like, what were some of the things where you're like, you know what? I did breakfast really, really well for them. Or we were really good about picking our clothes out the night before and they just got dressed. Or we were really good about getting up at a certain amount of time so that we just didn't really feel rushed, or whatever it might be for you. Think about the things that genuinely did go well, that you're looking forward to either just rinsing and repeating this year or optimizing a little bit. Like we said, maybe it was the time frame that you gave yourself and you're like, hey, check, like I know that this time is like, that's the sweet spot for us. So we're just going to do that again. Maybe it was picking out your clothes the night before, but like that was something that could have been optimized. Could you make it a little bit more fun? Could you, lay them somewhere where they're feeling motivated to do it? Could you like do a little sticker chart to be like, hey, if you just get up and get yourself dressed without me having to remind you, you're going to get a sticker and earn all these stickers by the end of the week, or whatever it might be. What can you take and either rinse or repeat or just optimize and make it a little more fun for yourselves? After you've taken some time to think about all of the things that helped your morning run really smoothly, I want you to think about the things that caused the most friction. Maybe it was, you know what, we never had enough time. I was constantly rushing them out the door. Maybe it was you were waking up with them, so you were trying to get yourself ready and them ready all at the same time, and it just felt really chaotic. Maybe it was you were always just like throwing down breakfast that kind of made you feel guilty, and you were like, ugh, I don't know that this breakfast is like good for you, but whatever. We're in a rush. Let's get out the door. Do you need more breakfast ideas? Um, is it breakfast for yourself? Where again, you were like, "Ugh, I wish I had enough time to eat breakfast right now, but I don't." And so you'd skip it and then spend the rest of the day hungry and snacking, and just it was kind of a downward spiral. What were some of the things that you were like, oh my gosh, I hated how this happened. We need to change that. So take some time to think about that too. Now, I want to give you some ideas, but just note that on our live call, if you join the Joy-Filled Mom app, we do a live call each month where we talk through some of these things and we can give some real life examples to you personally on the call. I have a whole bank of recipes, all kinds of ideas that I'd love to share with you if you do join. But for now, for today, a few things that I do want to encourage you to do. I feel like sometimes people start the school year off thinking, okay, I am going to prep all of my lunches and I'm going to prep all of our breakfasts and I'm going to wake up at this ridiculous time that I've never done before and I'm going to start it as soon as school starts. And all of those things are great in theory. But if you've never done them, they're going to fall off really quickly because prepping every single lunch ahead of time it's a lot. That's a lot on your Sunday, prepping and getting things ready. Same thing for if you want to go prep a whole bunch of breakfast. That's a lot, right? And then it runs out early and then what are you going to do? So my suggestion to you would be try to be as realistic as possible and maybe prep just like a few things that are going to make your life really easy. Maybe that means on Sunday buying a rotisserie chicken and shredding it and just like throwing chicken in quesadillas or salads or rice bowls or whatever, whether it's for yourself or also for your kids. Maybe it means making some overnight oats because some mornings are more hectic than others. Again, we know kids are unpredictable, things come up, but maybe it's having the plan of throwing some eggs and toast on a plate most mornings. But oh my gosh, this morning was super chaotic. I'm so glad I have these overnight oats that are going to last all week that I can just pull out of the fridge. So we're not trying to prep a whole ton of things. We're trying to just prep a few things that are going to make your life a little bit easier, whether it's in the mornings or for lunches or whatever. Same thing with like the kids. I find it so much easier when I'm not trying to chop a bunch of cucumbers and fruit and make sandwiches and do whatever for their lunches. If I have pre-chopped fruit already ready to go in the fridge, if I have pre-chopped veggies already ready to go, it's so much easier for me to just throw them in their little bento boxes, make a quick sandwich and call it a day versus when I haven't touched the strawberries yet, or, we haven't cut up the watermelon yet, or whatever. And I'm rushing around trying to do all of those things and pack their lunches at the same time. So, what can you do maybe on a Sunday that's only going to take you an extra 20 minutes, but it's going to save you so much time and stress throughout the rest of the week? Okay. So, again, get really realistic with what you want to do there. Same thing with even picking out clothes. Sometimes we get really ambitious and we're like, you know what? I'm going to pick out all their clothes for the entire week. But we know kids, if your kids are like mine, they might think that is a great idea on Monday, but by the time you roll around to Thursday, they're like, I don't want to wear that anymore. And then all that time that you spent just ends up getting wasted anyways. So how can you make it more realistic? Knowing how your kids are going to react, knowing how you are going to react, so that you can, again, just lay out a plan that doesn't feel like you're also flipping their world upside down. But maybe it's something that they can get excited about. How can we also build in an evening routine? I'm going to get to this a little bit more in a little bit, but how can you build into the evening routine that's going to help set you up for success more in the morning? And how can you get your kids on board with that too? Like I said, I want to come back to that in a second. So the very last thing that I want you to reflect on right now is your intention for your mornings. How do you want your mornings to feel? Okay. I'm sure we don't all want our mornings to feel rushed and hectic and getting out the door. I know on those mornings, I feel so guilty getting my kids, like sending them off on the bus, knowing that we all just like had a moment of mass chaos together and our emotions are all just reeling and frustrated and there was tears and all of the things. I hate sending them to school that way. I'm not saying that doing all these things is going to prevent that from ever happening, right? But how can we set ourselves up so that that doesn't happen very often? So set an intention. How do you want the morning to feel? And this is where I highly encourage you, if you are not already, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of extra time in your morning can make an astronomical difference in your day. Having that time to yourself to just get your mind right. If you can get morning sunshine and maybe even a little bit of movement, walk up and down your driveway real quick, amazing. Okay. But that's like a bonus. get your mind in a space and even set your intention first thing in the morning for how you want this morning to go. How do you want this morning to feel? You're not waking up immediately checking social media and immediately comparing your life to other people, because that will affect the energy of your day. You're not waking up and immediately thinking of your to-do list. I have to do this at work and I have to do this at home. No, that's going to again bring chaos immediately into your life. Before you think of anything else, I want you to spend the first 5 to 10 minutes of your morning setting your intention for how you want your day to feel, how you want your morning to feel, and anchor yourself in that intention so that every time you can feel the energy getting hectic again, you can bring yourself back to that intention. How can I get back here? How can I get back to this place of feeling calm and present? Okay. So with that being said, let's briefly just talk about how can you optimize your evening. This is where things can get hectic. Again, you've got sports, you've got homework, you've got to sign the papers, you've got to run out for last minute things that you need for school, whatever it might be, right? You've got to get dinner on the table. You've got all of these things going on. And then, oh my gosh, before you know it, why are the kids in bed? They're going to be exhausted tomorrow. They're not going to wake up. We need to get in bed. Let's go, go, go. So again, everything can start to feel really rushed. So think about the things again last year that went really well. What parts of an evening routine did you really enjoy that brought more joy to your family? And how can you incorporate more of that? What things caused friction and how can you combat to those specific things to reduce the friction? Okay. So again, that doesn't mean prepping all kinds of dinners or, pulling out clothes for your entire, whatever. Let's not go to extremes here. What are some small things that you can do to make the evening come back to that intention of wanting to feel present and joy-filled or whatever your intention is for the day? Okay. How can we always just make it more fun? So with that, I would encourage you, one, get your kids on board, talk to them, flipping their perspective around how we operate as a family, at least for me, has been transformational. And again, I still have to constantly remind them of these things, but to remind them, hey, we work as a team. We want tonight to feel fun. I don't want tonight to end in tears. I don't want it to end in us all frustrated. How can we work together to make tonight feel fun and to prep for tomorrow so that, again, we're not rushing around like crazy people in the morning, right? How can we work together to make this happen? Okay. What do you think are some good ideas? Get them involved in the conversation. Because if it's their idea, they're going to be way more likely to do it, right? How can we guide them to thinking of some ideas that maybe we know are going to help them the most, okay? Get your kids involved. Get them excited to pick out their clothes, okay? Let's pick out your clothes for tomorrow so you know exactly what you're going to do when you wake up. Gosh, how great would it be to have an extra downtime to play or watch a show or read a book with me because you just got up and got dressed? Right? And talk through them with the benefits of being able to do these things. Hey, why don't you tell me right now, what do you want for breakfast in the morning so that I know what to make you before you even get up? How can we remove some of the resistance in the morning by talking through some things at night? Okay. And any other ideas? So again, these are some of the things that I'd love to talk through with you if you decide to join the Joy Filled Mom. It is going to contain everything that you need to just feel like you're set up for success, to meet you where you're at right now so that we can start getting you taking care of yourself, prioritizing your health again in just small little bite-sized ways that grow with you over time so that before you know it, it's going to be December. I feel like school hits and then all of a sudden it's like we're getting ready for Christmas. Like what the heck? What if you decided I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start so small right now and keep growing with it so that by the time December rolls around, I can look back and be like, oh my gosh, I'm like a different person. Because I will tell you, that is exactly what I've been able to do with so many of my clients, my one-on-one clients leading up to this point. And I have finally put it all together in a place to make it more accessible to everyone. And I'm so excited to roll this out. So with that, like I said, you have to get in by Sunday, August 9th in order to join that live call, in order to get in on the app, because after that, doors are going to close. So I can just focus all my attention and energy this August on my founding members. We're done starting over inside the Joy-Filled Mom. There is no more starting over. There's just taking care of ourselves in a way that makes the most sense for whatever season that you're in. So I would love, love, love to welcome you in there. Like I said, click the link in that bio, and I hope I see you in. Thank you so much for joining me for our pop-up episode of Realistically Consistent. I will see you again in the fall. Thank you so much for listening to Realistically Consistent. If today's episode helped you, please hit subscribe and leave a quick rating, as it helps my moms find the show. You can visit AllisonHaleyFitness.com for more tools, tips, and ways to stay connected. And just as a quick reminder, I'm here to share general information and encouragement, but this podcast isn't meant to replace professional medical or health advice. Everyone's circumstances are different, so be sure to check in with your trusted healthcare provider before making any big changes. Thanks again for being here, and until next time, keep showing up for yourself one realistic step at a time.